Crafts YouTube channel. Again another week, and I know it's been ages since I last did a video. I think it was in December last year, but I've been so busy with a new pattern which now is on the hands of an amazing team of testers. So I'm just like freaking out and trying not to think about what they are thinking about the pattern, or if they find mistakes or whatever. Is so nerve-wracking every single time, and I mean it's like a huge weight of your shoulders, but at the same time it's like, oh my god, I hope it goes well and that people will like it, and you know, all those things. And also I've got a long way to go still till lunch, because I need to do the samples for the pictures, and I need to write the posts, and I need to do the YouTube tutorial with the, you know, all the steps on how to make the pattern. But yeah, I'm just taking a day or two to just, you know, relax a little bit, and then, you know, get on again and keep working on it. And I also need to translate the whole pattern in to Spanish, but I might do that during the weekend because I'm a little bit busy now with lots of classes, which, you know, they make me really happy, but at the same time it's huge amount of work. So anyway, as you can see, really busy, and that's why I haven't had the time to, you know, sit down and do a video or whatever. So yeah, the video of today is going to be like an informative video. I'm going to show you all the feet that I have for my sewing machine. I don't use them all, but I'm going to tell you the ones that I like the most, and how they look and what they are for. Maybe you have some and you have never tried them and you're just like, how do you actually, why do you use those, or why do you need them? So I'm just going to go along all the feet that I have. There are not many, but I'm going to show you the ones that I know, and then the ones that I'm not really sure about. And yeah, I don't know, I thought it would be a nice video just to show you and maybe give you a few tips, and maybe, you know, encourage you to use the feet that you have for your sewing machine. So yeah, that's it. That's going to be the video today. Yay! Okay guys, so here we go. I know this doesn't look like very professional, but I will show you each one of them close by. So this one is the first. Let me just, there you can see. So this is the zigzag. It's called the zigzag foot, but it's like universal foot that comes with your machine, and is the one that you use, you know, usually when sewing or stitching anything in general, like straight seam or whatever. It's not like a special one, it's just the one that comes usually already on your machine. So yeah, it usually comes with a letter A. At least all mine are Janome. I imagine that they change, you know, depending on the brand of the sewing machine, but I think they are more or less the same, hopefully. So yeah, this one is the zigzag universal stitch. Now I'm going to show you the automatic buttonhole foot. My sewing machine comes with an automatic buttonhole option, so that means you don't need to do, like, for example, I used to have an old Janome. I mean, it was not old, it was just like more a beginner type of machine, and you had to actually stitch your buttons in 3 different stages or steps, or 4 different steps. And on my current sewing machine, you just do it on 1 step. It is really great, but can I say something? I think that the one that I use on my older sewing machine, I think the buttonholes looked nicer. I don't know, maybe because it's like an automatic stitch, it doesn't work the same way like they used to, but anyway. So this one is the automatic buttonhole foot, and you just put your button in here, like that, and you move it, and now this is the part that goes, you know, on your sewing machine, and then you just need to pull down. If you have the automatic buttonhole foot stitch option, sorry, you just put down a kind of like black level thin, and that level thin is the one that is going to manage where to stop and go back and then go up again on the other side to stitch your buttonhole using the measurement of your actual button, which I find amazing. So it's like a kind of sensor that knows when it's reached, you know, like the whole length of the button, so that it can go back and continue with the stitching of the buttonhole. So it's this one, and this one also comes with this plate. It says buttonhole is stabilizer. How do you say that word? Stabilizer? Stabilizer. Okay, I'm not sure. So yeah, I've never used this one. I think to try it. I'm not really sure how it works. I think it's maybe to stabilize the like the fabric or something, and it has like this raggy part. I'm not really sure. I need to use that one as well and try it with that one. If you have used that one, let me know, and then I can, you know, try it myself next time. And now I'm going to show you the famous or infamous walking foot, which is this kind of thing that it really reminds me always of this Star Wars kind of thingies on one of the movies with long legs, and they used to go like that. Anyway, I'm not really sure about the name, but anyway, so this is the walking foot. This is great for using stretchy fabrics, so jersey, knits, because it actually grabs the fabric so it doesn't go like anywhere or stretches out or anything like that. It is also great with the slippery fabrics, you know, those types of fabrics that need to be stable on your sewing machine so that they don't move and you achieve a good finish. I usually always use it with jersey fabrics and knit fabrics, as I said, and here you can see this is the place where you put it on your sewing machine. And yeah, I mean, it looks quite complicated, but in the end, I mean, it's just a normal foot. And then it also comes, I'm not really sure if you put it in here, but I've used it in the past. I don't think it comes in here, but somewhere else on the sewing machine, but I'm just going to put it there. So this is like a quilting guide. So I use this one actually, and this for doing the quilting of my toasty jacket. The inside is all quilted. You can go to my other videos on the YouTube channel and check that, you know, I talk about the quilting that I made on the lining of my toasty jacket. So yeah, and I use it as a kind of guide, and it's great because it gives you like a bigger, as you know, you can say seam allowance, which is not the same, but you know, it gives you like more distance, and then you know you are making a straight line or whatever the shape that you are making. So this is like the guide. I don't think it goes in here, to be honest. I think it goes somewhere else on the sewing machine, because this one, it moves quite a lot, but I've seen it somewhere used this way, and I use it myself, although it kept moving a little bit. I'm not sure. Okay, Anna, you just discovered it. You just need to push hard. Now it doesn't move. So yeah, it goes in there. So if you're thinking about doing some kind of quilting, then yeah, this is the way. And honestly, and also I have to say something, buy the original of the walking foot. Don't buy the cheap ones from Amazon, which cost nothing and then breaks your machine, because it has happened to me and it broke like, I don't know, 5 or 6 needles, and I thought it was something that I was doing wrong, but in the end it was the walking foot. Next on the list is this. I've never used it before. Is the adjustable zipper foot. And honestly, guys, I've been trying to put it on my sewing machine, but I can't. So I'm just starting to wonder if maybe it's not for my type of sewing machine, because I don't know how to actually put it on my sewing machine. I mean, I've been trying to, but I'm not really sure. So yeah, that's a huge fail. I will keep trying. If you have tried this one, let me know. So it's called the adjustable zipper foot. It looks like this. So yeah, I will keep working on this one, and let's see if I manage to actually put it on my machine. If you have used it, let me know how it went. Now I'm going to show you 2 feet that are really useful. This is like, how do you call this one? Well, I just put there that is like slippery and PVC fabric foot. So I got this one when I made a raincoat for my niece, and the fabric was a PVC, so it was quite slippery and difficult to sew using this one, because the fabric got stuck on the foot. It didn't move. I mean, it was like, yeah, it felt like it was glued to this foot. So I got this, and it actually has this kind of sort of wheelie thing, so it wheels along your fabric. And I also discovered this one is a Teflon foot, and it's also great but for those sort of PVC fabrics. So if you're making a raincoat, I really recommend any of these two. I think this one was actually even better. So yeah, any of these two, and I got this one I think on Amazon, so it was fine. There you go. Now I'm going to show you a new one. This one it has the letter C. I think it's good to know what, you know, the letters stand for, or which, you know, because I think that always the A is the zigzag foot, like the universal foot. The C is always the same, hopefully. So this one is called the Overedge foot, and it does the same job as the overlocker, kind of, and you need to use a specific stitch on your sewing machine. I think on mine is number 11. I'm going to show you. So mine is number 11, which you see, it looks like sort of the stitches made with the overlocker. So if you don't have an overlocker, you just sorry, if you don't have an overlocker, you can just get one of these, even though I think that these come with the sewing machine usually, and then use the stitch that is for this kind of foot, and it will create a sort of overedge stitch. I have an overlocker, so then I don't usually use it, but I think it's good if, for example, you have a really light, thin, delicate fabric, and it frays quite a lot, and you don't want to use your overlocker because you're worried about, you know, making a mess. So you can use maybe this one, and I think it will do a good job, and, you know, it won't break your fabric or do anything you don't want to. Now, next is the concealed zip foot. I absolutely love this foot. Usually, I think this one also comes with the sewing machine. You see, is letter Z, and yeah, as you can see, is the zip to do a concealed zip. A concealed zip is the zip that usually comes on, for example, dresses, back of dresses, when you don't want your zip to be seen on the outside. So it's concealed between the two seams, and I love a concealed zip. I think they look so nice, and this makes the job so much easier. So you just put it on your sewing machine, and then it goes, the zip will go on these two kind of thingies in there, shapes. So yeah, that one is another one. And now this is a piping foot. I don't know which number it is. I don't think it has any number on this one. Okay, this is a piping foot, and this one, as you can see, it has like two oh, let me see. Okay, nice focusing. So it has like two kind of like tunnels on the foot. So this one is great if you want to use piping, for example, on a pair of PJs along the lapels, or you want the lapels, or it's not called lapels, right? You don't pronounce it, I think it's lapels. Or for example, on the marshmallow dress, on the CocoWawa pattern, you can use piping to join the bodies to the ruffle at the bottom. So these are amazing for that, and it makes your job so much easier when you want to stitch the piping. So yeah, this one is the piping foot. And now, so these two are satin stitch foot, which okay, so I write it down here, applique embroidery decorative stitches. So as you can see, like the bottom of these 2 feet are a little bit wider than the usual feet or foot. So these are used for, you know, like embroidery, using embroidery stitches on your machine. I have never used these. They look a little bit different. So one is F, this one is F, this one is F2. If you have used them before, let me know how you manage with this. And also this one has like a kind of thing in there instead of just, you know, all open. And I imagine it is like an open foot because you need the space for some types of embroidery stitches, right? So that the needle doesn't go on the actual foot and breaks your needle. So yeah, these are two that I have never used before, but I know that they are for embroidery and stuff. Then I've got my regular zip foot, letter E. This one is also very popular. You sometimes put it in here or in there depending on the position of your zip. So this is just for regular zips, and I use this when I'm making, for example, a tote bag, or not a tote bag, sorry, like a pouch or anything with, you know, a zip that you can see. So for example, I've got a zip here because I'm making actually something. So yeah, it will be for this type of zips, not the concealed zip. So when you're stitching, for example, it will go all the way down next to the teeth. Yeah, this one is super useful, and I'm sure that many of you have used it in the past. This one, I have never used it before, and I really want to know your opinion about the blind hem foot. A lot of people do blind hems by hand. I have never, I mean, I'm the type of person who doesn't care about, you know, that you see the hem on your dress or whatever, the stitches. I've never done a blind hem foot ever. I think I might need to actually try. I'm lying. I don't know if that's called blind hem, but on my coat, on both, no, it was on one of my coats, I had to actually do a blind hem at the bottom of the coat to join it with to the lining. So I think that counts as a kind of blind hem. I did it by hand. It took me ages. It was horrible. I mean, I hated it because if you know me, you would know that I hate sewing by hand. Only I love embroidery, but you know, hand sewing is not my thing. I should actually train a little bit more on that, but anyway. So this is the blind hem foot, and I watched a couple of videos on YouTube about some of these, and it looked quite interesting, and it really creates a blind hem so you don't see the stitches on the hem. You know what I might do? If you let me know in the comments which ones would you like me to do, like a kind of tutorial showing you how they work. I think I would love doing that, maybe with a walking foot, or I don't know, any that you are not, you know, not sure about. I will do a tutorial on some of those, and then you can see how they work, and I for sure will use this one. Then moving on, the last part of the list, I've got here, this is called the ditch quilting foot, and I say here for a stitch in the ditch, maybe for edge stitching. So this one apparently, letter S, is good for a stitch in the ditch. For example, you use it if you want to for the facing of a dress on the collar along the neckline. You don't want it to, you know, go to the outside and roll to the outside. You usually stitch in the ditch, you know, on the exactly the same, like along the seam. So you stitch in the ditch to secure that that facing, and also you can edge stitch, as I say in there. So I need to try this one as well, because I do quite a lot of edge stitching and stitching in the ditch when using facings. And for my next pattern, it has a facing as well, so I might try it on the tutorial, this one. If you have tried this one as well, let me know. Now I've got here the binder foot. So it's when you are using bias binding or bias tape, or however you call it. So this one, apparently it comes with this as well, and apparently it actually folds the the fabric on a shape that then comes up as the bias binding, like the bias tape. I'm not really sure if what I'm saying is correct. If you have ever used it, let me know. And also, I was actually going to try it on, and then I discovered that I'm missing a piece. There is something that joins these two together, and I cannot find it. I'm sorry, it's like a screw or something. I'm missing that bit, so I cannot actually test it because, and this one is new. I'm so bummed that, you know, I lost that one. I mean, it's not that as if I'm doing bias binding all day, but anyway, let me know if you have used this one. If not, I might get a new one, and then I will add it to the list of tutorials to do with the foot. This one is the 1/4 inches foot. So this one makes because I hate inches, I'm going to say 0.635 centimeters. So it's like a half a centimeter if you want to make a seam of a little bit more than half a centimeter. So yeah, it's like a kind of sort of guide, and I have never used this one before either. I think it's letter 0, and this one apparently is used a lot by quilters. I think lots of these are used by quilters maybe rather than dressmakers, but anyway, I think it's interesting to know what they are for. And I'm not sure if I've ever used this one, but I think I should. Anyway, you know, when I start sewing something, I just go straight with my zigzag foot. Only if it's like a jersey something, then I will use my walking foot. And then if it, of course, I need zip, I will use my zip foot. But in the end, I usually just go and use the same foot. I don't know if it happens to you. I know that some people are really into like changing foot and changing the foot and then doing something different. Anyway, I think I should try that. And then this one is the one that I asked on my Instagram stories not long ago. What was that for? Because I had no idea. I think it's this way, right? Or is this way? No, it's this way, right? Oh my god, guys. Yeah, it's this way. So this is the freehand embroidery foot. So it is when you drop down your dogs and then you go and do some freehand embroidery with your machine. I've never done freehand embroidery either, and I really want to try. So this one might go on the list of feet that I need to do a tutorial on. So as you can see, I have all my feet in here. So please let me know which ones would you like me to do a tutorial all together. Like, I'm not going to do a tutorial of all of them because it would take ages, and some of them I don't think is necessary. But I think I will try the ones that I've never tried before, or the ones that are a little bit more, you know, curious and interesting. And let me know in the comments which ones would you like me to do a tutorial, okay? So yeah, I'm saying goodbye, guys. Hope you liked the video, and I will see you very soon. I think that the next video, no. I was going to say it will be a new pattern, but no, I think it's still a long way to go. So I think the next one is going to be a knitting one, so hopefully. Well, guys, see you very soon. Bye.